For years, outgoing GOP Senator Mitt Romney was a vocal opponent of the MAGA movement. But as Romney prepares to retire, he's admitting that MAGA is the present and future of the party. Take a look.
MAGA is the Republican Party, and Donald Trump is the Republican Party today. And if you were to ask me who the nominee will be in 2028, I think it'll be J.D. Vance.
Donald John Trump is going to raise his hand on a King James Bible and take the oath of office. Since it doesn't actually say consecutive,
I don't believe that's possible.
Let's get to the narrative.
Because there is a constitution and there is an age limit. And I believe at the end of this term, he will have aged out. I believe they're going to check.
The 22nd Amendment.
I believe, but they're going to check it for me. So don't get mad at me yet. You know, the folks are going to check. But what is they talking about?
Well, I didn't think it was really a breaking news headline that Donald Trump has taken over the Republican Party, but I love Mitt Romney. I volunteered on his campaign. I'm going to miss him. I think he was a voice of reason and somebody who liked to work across the aisle and represented more where I come from in the GOP. But we're witnessing kind of a tectonic shift of political realignment. The Republican Party is now the party of the working class. It's the party of not wanting American intervention abroad. It's the one talking about how we need to end forever wars. And you've got the Democratic Party that, in many ways, it's a lot of higher educated people, higher net worth people. And it's a flipping on ahead of what we thought of 20 years ago. I think a lot of people feel like they don't fit cleanly into either of them. In some ways, I feel that way. But he is right. Trump is the dominant force in Republican politics. I don't think it's going back, but I hope there's Republicans who work within the party to keep guardrails on it and to make it something, you know, those of us who've been members of it our whole lives could be part of.
So there's no age limit to be president or to be Supreme Court justice. There's term limits for president, and there is an age minimum. You've got to be a certain age
35
to be president. Right, but you could be 120 and still be president.
Then why didn't anybody bring that up? They kept saying that somebody was too old. Didn't we hear that?
This shows you that a lot of these women and a lot of these people, including the ones that's on The View, are commenting on stuff that they have no insight, no understanding on. They, honest to God, really need to take a civics class before they start to comment. But Mitt Romney has long, in my opinion, been an opponent of Donald Trump. He was jealous. He didn't want to see him succeed. He succeeded as far as Trump succeeded where Mitt Romney could never succeed as far as becoming president of the United States of America. Mitt Romney, in my opinion, was kind of a traitor to the Republican Party. But at the same time, I will say objectively that he is right. It's obvious Donald Trump is the face, and it is the party of reason, and it is the party that wants to get back to common sense decisions every single day. And it's basically showing you that most people need to get off the Democratic plantation because most of those that are advocating for the Democratic Party, which has become so extreme in its views, are ones that are absolutely successful and rich and benefiting off of the ignorance of most. And it is the party of division. And we've seen that during this past election. It is the party, as far as the Republican Party is, the party of the people. And it is the party that makes the most sense for the majority of the Americans that want an opportunity to really be the best version of themselves and get to the bag. Nobody is telling you to give you anything. But what we are saying is stop giving everybody else all of our stuff that we as taxpayers pay for. Stop these forever wars. Start focusing on what's best for America. Start investing in our country and give us the opportunity to win. That's it. That's all Americans ever asked for, is stop giving away our stuff and give us the opportunity to win. And that's what common sense politics has become, which is the party of Donald Trump. MAGA movement is really here. It's here to stay. It's here forever.
Okay, look at me going backwards. Never mind. Go ahead, baby.
So I don't think it's accurate to say that Mitt Romney was a vocal opponent and critic of MAGA. I think he's still but I think he still is. My point is, I don't think he's changed. I think what I think you're hearing from Mitt Romney is Mitt Romney being realistic to the point, to the fact that for people like Mitt Romney, like the Bushes, like, a John McCain Republican, like me, frankly, we have zero space right now, zero influence. It doesn't feel that it's very representative. This is certainly not
she saying that
on
she's a
foreign
conservative?
policy, on social issues, on fiscal issues. Who would have ever thought that the Republican Party would be advocating for a tariff war? I mean, that's just, it's supposed to be the free trade party. But this is
It's not a free trade party when you have a trade deficit of $300 billion, for example, with Mexico and a $100 billion trade deficit with Canada. And they're also leaving open their borders in order for people to take advantage of us here in the United States of America. Yes, you need to have a tariff war. And yes, we are the party and we are the people and we are the United States of America that's been taken advantage of for far too long and sold off because people within the Democratic Party was benefiting as a result of it. That's really not hard to figure out and hard to believe.
We are, and I think if Donald Trump had lost, we'd be talking about the resurgence and reinvention of the Republican Party. But Donald Trump won, and so most definitely
never in jeopardy.
his dominance over the party is a fact. Yeah. Whether I like it or not, whether Mitt likes it or not, es lo que es.
But I agree. He is the party.
No applause.
And as I've been saying, I think that the Republican Party maybe needs to reframe the question instead of thinking about what the Democrats need to do. Maybe think about why is a convicted felon so attracted to this country, or why are we so attracted, so many of us who are convicted felon, and
so bitter.
And Elon Musk, who said you will feel the working class temporary hardships,
Yeah, that means that you're going to have to go back to work. You're going to have to go back into the office. You're going to have these auditing of these government branches that have a whole lot of bloated people that is using American tax dollars, and they're going to have to get regular jobs instead of taking advantage of the American people. Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Since when is the
Isn't he the
Republican
richest
Party?
man in the world?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
And he's not going to have any temporary hardships. But
Neither are you,
then
Sonny.
I'm kind of rethinking my thinking, and I do think that maybe it's time for the Democrats to do a little bit of this postmortem, because the Democratic Party has always been the party of the working class.
They
It's
haven't.
always been.
They haven't.
If
Never.
you look at all the policies, they're for the people. And I think even myself, as someone who grew up in abject poverty from the Bronx, my parents lived paycheck to paycheck. They had to decide whether or not they were going to feed me or whether or not we were going to have heat. I remember that. And I think I missed the boat in terms of realizing that there are so many Americans that still have that experience that I grew up with and that members of my family grew up with. And so I think we need to make space in this tent for the people that are really going to need it, because I got to tell you, I don't think the Republican Party is the party of the working class. I think they will hurt the working class. And so it is up to those of us who remember how that feels or who cares about that to reach out and say, come back, we can help you. And I intend myself, what little I can do, to try to do that more.
Good, so.
These people are so disconnected. They so far removed from whatever it is that they think that they grew up as. The Democrat Party has never been the party of the people. I will say the Democrat Party has not ever been as extreme as it's been in my lifetime. But the Democrat Party has always been a party of war. It's always been a party of division. It's always been a party of racism. It's always been a party of handouts and socialism and leaving our borders open and letting people take advantage of us. And it's finally over. It's over. It is over. So pull up your bootstraps. Time for you to man up, go back to work, take care of business, and stop giving everything over to immigrants. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. I want to hear what y'all got to say. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to see y'all later. Peace.